Welcome back to our guides to building in Lagos or anywhere in Nigeria. We've talked about the budget, we've talked about what you want to use the land for. So by the time you've concluded on that, and so you know what location you are looking at and the sizes based on your budget, so now it's the time to look at the land you want to buy. And so in buying land in Lagos or anywhere in Nigeria is very tricky. And so there are some things you must have at the back of your mind. The first thing is that there are people you have to work with. You have to work with a real estate professional. And you ask me why? The reason is that they will guide you on the best place you can get the kind of land you are looking for at the best deals. After the real estate professional, you need a surveyor. And what does the surveyor do? There's a survey the seller sends to you, a soft copy of the survey. He sends it to you. So the surveyor goes to the land, takes the coordinates, the physical coordinates, and matches it with what is on the survey that was sent to you. And after that, those coordinates are taken to the Surveyor General's office where a charting is done to check if that land is not committed under government or under any acquisition. And also what the surveyor also does for you is that when the transaction has been finished, the surveyor can also help you draw out the survey in your own name and also register it and also help you to mark out the perimeter of the land so that you can know where your land starts from and where it ends, and so that you can also do your fencing and know your property area. And then another professional you also need is a lawyer, which is very critical. What the lawyer helps you do is that he helps you do a background check to know that you are dealing with the owner of the land. If the person you are dealing with is the owner of the land, takes the land document, goes to the land registry to do a search of the title on the land to know if there are no issues on the land, if the person that is selling to you is the real owner of the land, to know if governor's consent have been done on the land, or the land, if the number of transfers that has happened on the land, how many of them have done a consent after the first initial CFO, and all those other things. And also what the lawyer also does is that it helps you to get the documentation of the land done. Because if you finally purchase the land, there are no issues on the land, and you decide that, oh, I want to buy this land, there is a need for you to do a documentation. If the land has a governor's consent or a CFO, you have to do a governor's consent in your name. If the land has no title, but you can regularize it, you can rectify it, that means you can make it a land that has a title, then it's also good that as you purchase the land, part of what you should have at the back of your mind is doing a documentation on the land, ratification and regularization, because that is very, very critical. And one thing you must also consider is that in the process of trying to buy a land, you might see a land that is cheap, that has no title and has no issue on it, and you can regularize it. But what you have to do is now to check the balance. If I buy a land with documentation, with a title, how much am I going to spend to get a governor's consent on it? And if I buy a land without a title, how much am I going to spend on ratifying it? So you now have to compare which one will pay me at the end of the day. So that is one thing that you must have at the back of your mind. And doing a documentation on the land is very critical. It's something that you must plan. When we were talking about budget in the first video, part of the documentation is that you must, once you purchase a land, your plan is to do a consent on it immediately, or do a ratification on it if it has no title. My name is Sheil Omishade. I'm an architect, and see you in the next video, and we'll talk about what next to do after you've purchased your land.